Welcome to JetStream. Today, we're taking you deep inside the ownership experience of one of Gulfstream's most anticipated new jets, the G400. This aircraft marks a bold move for Gulfstream, delivering large cabin comfort and long-range performance at a more accessible price point. Designed as the entry-level model in their large cabin family, the G400 brings the brand's hallmark luxury, technology, and design into a streamlined platform. But as with any aircraft, it's not just about the brochure specs. It's about the numbers behind the ownership experience. From acquisition to annual expenses, depreciation to customization, understanding the full picture is crucial. Before we get started, we run the JetStream Briefing, a weekly newsletter trusted by thousands of aviation professionals and enthusiasts. Each issue delivers clear insights on private jets, ownership, and the latest news shaping the industry. It's free. Sign up now at jetstream.global. In this video, we'll unpack the real price of owning a G400, from acquisition to operations to long-term value. We'll start with the sticker price and hidden delivery cost, then examine fixed and variable expenses across different flying profiles. We'll also explore the G400's in-flight performance, review its cabin layout and amenities, and walk through available financing and ownership strategies. By the end, you'll understand what it truly takes to own and operate Gulfstream's next-generation workhorse. Gulfstream lists the G400 with a base price around $34.5 to $35 million. But that's really just a starting point. As with most private aircraft, customization drives the real-world price much higher. Buyers typically opt for upgraded galley packages, in-flight connectivity, bespoke seating, and enhanced acoustic insulation. These options quickly push the price towards $38 to $40 million or more, especially for owners who want a cabin layout that reflects their unique brand or lifestyle. It's not unusual for owners to invest heavily in the interior, since it serves as both a business tool and a personal retreat. Additionally, early production slots often carry a premium due to limited availability. The G400 is still in the certification phase, with first deliveries expected in 2025, so these early orders are commanding extra attention and cost. By the way, if you'd like to understand how people actually access private aviation, we've put together a free guide called 5 Ways to Fly Private Without Owning a Jet. You can get it at jetstream.global/flyprivate. Links below. At this stage, a pre-owned market doesn't exist, which means every G400 transaction is a new delivery. That brings both opportunity and risk. On one hand, new owners benefit from the latest technology, a full warranty, and fresh airframe hours. On the other hand, early adopters take a greater depreciation risk, particularly over the first 5 to 7 years. Gulfstream jets tend to hold value better than many peers, but market shifts, economic cycles, and new aircraft launches can still impact residual values. Some buyers mitigate these risks through bonus depreciation strategies or by placing the aircraft in a charter management program. But those looking for a deal on the secondary market will need to wait several years before the first used G400s appear. Readiness costs are another essential factor in the total acquisition budget. These include pilot and crew training, hangar space adjustments, and compliance with local aviation regulations. For international buyers, import duties and taxes can add significantly to the final bill. In many cases, regional equipment like additional weather radar, communications gear, or cold weather systems may be required based on the aircraft's home base or planned routes. Depending on these variables, new owners should expect to spend an additional $500,000 to $1 million preparing the aircraft for active service. These are the investments that ensure the G400 is mission ready the moment it joins your fleet. Owning a G400 means preparing for a complex matrix of both fixed and variable costs. Fixed costs are those that accrue regardless of how many hours the aircraft flies. Typical annual fixed cost for the Gulfstream G400 might start around $600,000, but in high-cost regions with larger crew, support staffing, and premium facilities, they could approach $800,000 or more for a captain, co-pilot, and occasional cabin attendant. Hangar fees vary widely based on geography, but can cost between $60,000 and $120,000 per year. Insurance premiums typically fall near $75,000 depending on hull value and pilot experience. In addition, there are ongoing costs for regulatory compliance, crew training, navigation data subscriptions, and flight department administration. Altogether, these fixed costs usually add up between $535,000 and $795,000 annually for a G400. Variable costs depend on how often and how far you fly. Fuel is the largest single component, and while official burn rates haven't been finalized, early estimates suggest the G400 will consume 500 plus gallons per hour. At fuel prices ranging from $6 to $8 per gallon, that's $3,000 to $4,000 per flight hour on fuel alone. On top of that, operators must account for hourly engine program fees, airframe maintenance costs, landing and handling charges, and onboard expenses like catering and connectivity. Total variable costs are projected around $5,000 plus per flight hour, depending on mission type and region. Get the latest in Private Aviation Weekly, aircraft, ownership, and market updates. Join the JetStream Briefing at jetstream.global. If you fly 300 to 400 hours annually, a typical usage rate for many owner-operators, those fixed and variable costs range around $2 million to $3 million per year. This includes both baseline operations and expected wear-related maintenance. The more consistently the aircraft is used, the more efficiently fixed costs are spread across total hours. Conversely, flying only 100 to 150 hours annually will increase your cost per hour significantly, since fixed overhead doesn't scale down with lower utilization. For owners concerned with cost optimization, predictable flying patterns are essential. Some owners choose to offset their costs by offering their aircraft for a charter when not in use, often through a management company. This strategy can help defray some of the annual expenses, but also introduces added wear, more frequent maintenance intervals, and higher crew utilization. Additionally, chartering affects insurance premiums and may limit scheduling flexibility. It's a useful tool for owners who fly part-time, but the decision must be weighed carefully, with realistic revenue expectations and a solid understanding of how increased flight hours impact lifecycle cost and asset value. The G400 is engineered to offer long-range capability and signature Gulfstream refinement in a more compact footprint than its G500 and G600 siblings. With a projected maximum range of 4,200 nautical miles and a long-range cruise speed of Mach 0.85, this jet is designed to handle demanding intercontinental missions with ease. When time is of the essence, it can cruise at a maximum operating speed of Mach 0.90. That kind of reach means you can fly nonstop from Dubai to London or from New York to Berlin, all while maintaining fuel reserves for diversions. With a certified surface ceiling of 51,000 feet, the G400 can operate above most commercial traffic and weather systems, offering smoother rides and more direct routing. Takeoff distance is expected to be around 5,000 feet, while landing distance comes in at approximately 3,000 feet under standard conditions. It's a true globe-spanning performer, delivering transatlantic flexibility in a platform that's easier to manage operationally and economically than some larger aircraft. For owners who value both reach and efficiency, the G400 hits a compelling sweet spot. In the cockpit, pilots will find the same Gulfstream Symmetry flight deck found in Gulfstream's flagship models, featuring touchscreen controls, active side sticks, and fully integrated avionics. This cockpit design streamlines workflow and enhances situational awareness, making the G400 easier to fly and more capable in complex airspace. Gulfstream has also built in support for steep approach procedures, opening access to high-demand short runway destinations like London City and Aspen. While final takeoff and landing data are still pending certification, early expectations suggest competitive performance in this category. The blend of technology, accessibility, and range positions the G400 as a strong contender for high-performance operations worldwide. Inside, the G400 cabin delivers the experience one expects from Gulfstream: sleek, quiet, and endlessly customizable. The interior stretches nearly 42 feet 5 inches in length and is divided into 2.5 distinct living zones, officially, but able to have 3 distinct living zones in a certain custom layout, allowing for both productivity and rest. Standard configurations support up to 12 passengers, with layouts that can include club seating, divans, and either a forward or aft lavatory. Owners can even opt for an enclosed shower, making the G400 viable for long international legs where comfort and convenience are critical. Whether outfitted for business, leisure, or a hybrid mission, the space is designed for maximum versatility. Passengers benefit from 10 Gulfstream's signature panoramic oval windows and a 100% fresh air system that enhances health and comfort on long flights. Cabin altitude is expected to remain at or below 3,255 feet during cruise, reducing fatigue and jet lag. The aircraft comes standard with Ka-band high-speed Wi-Fi, touchscreen cabin controls, and global phone connectivity. Entertainment and lighting can be managed through personal devices or integrated systems. These tech-forward amenities, paired with Gulfstream's renowned cabin acoustics and air quality, ensure the G400 remains a premium environment in every stage of the journey. Acquiring a Gulfstream G400 typically involves financing structures that cover between 70% and 85% of the aircraft's purchase price, depending on the buyer's credit profile, ownership entity, and overall financial picture. Most lenders offer amortization terms between 5 and 10 years, often concluding with a balloon payment. For owners looking to defray ongoing costs, placing the aircraft into a charter operation through a leaseback agreement is one option. However, this approach comes with trade-offs: increased hours on the airframe, accelerated maintenance cycles, and less flexibility in aircraft availability. Additionally, operators must factor in the increased insurance premiums and administration requirements that come with commercial charter use. For prospective owners who fly less frequently, typically under 200 hours annually, shared ownership is becoming a more practical and popular model. This can take the form of fractional ownership programs, joint ventures with other flyers, or co-ownership partnerships that split acquisition and operational costs. These structures reduce upfront capital requirements while still providing consistent access to the aircraft. Most shared ownership solutions are supported by professional management companies that handle staffing, maintenance scheduling, trip coordination, and regulatory compliance. The appeal here is clear: private aviation without the full-time responsibilities. It's a model that aligns with modern travel habits, offering flexibility, reduced risk, and predictable cost management. Since the Gulfstream G400 is a newly introduced model, comprehensive lifecycle data is still evolving. That said, Gulfstream's track record with large cabin aircraft offers a strong baseline for expectations. Major inspections typically occur every 6 to 10 years, depending on flight hours and usage cycles. Owners should also anticipate interior refurbishments and system software upgrades within 8 to 10 years of service, particularly if the aircraft is used heavily for charter or business missions. Proactively managing these midlife events ensures the jet remains competitive in resale markets and aligns with Gulfstream's recommended maintenance intervals. Staying ahead of wear trends is essential for preserving operational reliability and market perception. When it comes to resale, early values for the G400 will hinge on production capacity, buyer demand, and how quickly Gulfstream ramps up deliveries. If demand remains strong and build slots are limited, early owners may benefit from favorable resale positioning. However, the inverse is also true. If newer models are announced or macroeconomic factors shift, resale values could soften. As always in private aviation, good record keeping is paramount. Aircraft enrolled in engine programs with documented service history and cosmetic upkeep tend to hold their value better. For first-wave owners, preserving value means thinking long-term from day one, structuring usage and maintenance practices with an eventual resale in mind. The G400 offers a compelling entry into Gulfstream's large cabin family, combining next-gen avionics, long-range capability, and signature comfort at a price below the flagship G500 and G600. But it's still a high-stakes commitment. Expect to invest up to $40 million for a well-equipped aircraft, plus another $2.5 million annually to operate it effectively. For buyers who want to own a true transcontinental performer backed by Gulfstream's global support, the G400 is an exciting proposition. But, as always, the right decision starts with understanding the full picture, from purchase to operation to exit. Thanks for watching JetStream. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join us at jetstream.global for briefings, aircraft breakdowns, and expert ownership insights.